Greetings, Sam and Lee down under from Pete up and over in Denmark. Sam, could you please ask Lee if he has seen the new IFBB Model Fitness Division and what he thinks of that development in the sport? Personally, I think it looks like the promoters are trying to make a effing category for every damn punter out there now, so they can get money from as many competitors as possible. I have a difficult time understanding what people posing and parading in suits and other full covering clothes has to do with the sport of bodybuilding. WTF. Always interesting to follow you and Lee on the videos, so keep up the good work.
Yeah, I've never really watched any of them, but I see them and stuff, and to me, like you said, the guys in the suits and then coming out in the board shorts and walking around, to me just looks like you're watching a David Jones, that's a big department store here, like a big model fashion show, because fashion shows guys come out, walk down the runway in suits, casual wear, and then in swim clothes, normally or underwear, so to me it looks like the same thing. And yeah, for the promoter, that is all it's about. It's just about making money, getting more people in, because like I said, some of these guys might want to be bodybuilders, but just genetic wise, time wise or whatever, they can't be a good bodybuilder, but they might get a nice physique where they can maybe do something else, and I guess this category suits them. So sadly, you are going to have a lot more people out there doing that, and sadly you're going to have a lot more people on Instagram and Facebook posting up pictures of themselves thinking they look good when they really don't. You can just go to the beach and see those type of people on there. So yeah, I never really liked it, but you know, I guess if it gets them in the gym and they're healthy and they eat good and train well, can't be too bad. But yeah, if you're going to watch a show, bodybuilding shows should be bodybuilding shows, and then separate day have your figure, fitness type, sort of athletic type categories on a different day, because most people want to see a bodybuilding show, don't want to have a bodybuilding prejudging and then watch the men bodybuilders, and then next class they break it back to a girl's figure and then go to a men's type classical, and then we go back to the bodybuilders posing routines, and we go back. Just drags the day on, and just like I said, most of those people aren't there to see that, so break it up. Have the bodybuilding one day, have all those other classes the next day, and that's the best way to do it, because like I said, it just drags the shows on, and a lot of people don't want to see that. People that are into the classic physiques and the figure and all that sort of stuff, they don't like really bodybuilders' physiques, so they don't really want to watch the bodybuilders, and vice versa. So split it up and make everyone happy. Simple.
What would be your ideal bodybuilding show format? Like, how long would it run for? How many categories?
I just have the bodybuilding categories, and like I said, whether it be like NABBA style, we have the height classes, so you have different categories that way, or weight classes, or if it's just professional, well, they shouldn't run that long, should they? Because it's just one class for professionals, unless you're going to do the 212 and then the opens. But normally you can just get over and done with prejudging. Should be over and done with within 2 hours, 2.5 hours most. And then the night show, if you let, depending how many competitors, you let everyone pose. You have the posing routines, could be 2-3 minutes each. I let them go for, and then you have your pose down and stuff like that. So it should be, you can try and keep it condensed. And you know, a lot of people too, when they go to these bodybuilding shows, they put on these acts in between, like martial arts or a dance group and stuff like that. People don't want to see that shit, you know, they want to see the bodybuilders. They don't want to see bodybuilders plus like a fucking retarded Australia's Got Talent in between the bodybuilding acts. So just stick to what people come to see, the bodybuilding, and they'll be quite happy. You don't have to drag it on, because most people want to get in there, see it and go home or go out, do whatever. So the more you drag it on, people just lose interest and they get bored. Even if a great guy comes out and he's on, after they've been sitting there for 5 hours, they're just like, oh, great, you know. So, you know, they're waiting for something exciting to happen, like when people go watch the car races. After a few hours watching cars go round and round, they want to see a car crash, and when they crash, they all get excited again. So, same with bodybuilding, you've got to keep make it fun, make it exciting, and change it up a bit. But, you know, putting in all those model categories doesn't really help the bodybuilding type fans at all, and vice versa.
And what about, you know, say you don't get so many people and people that shouldn't really be up there, do you think they should...
You need to cut off. You normally have qualifiers for this and that, but sometimes like the nationals or the USAs and stuff, they can have over 200 girls sometimes. There needs to be a limit, because how can you honestly judge 200 girls when they're all up there, the hair done, makeup done, fake breasts, this and that? Pretty much they all look like, you know, the Stepford wives. They all look like clones, robots of each other, unless one's really bad compared to the other. But There's just too much, and how you can fairly judge that many girls, and you bring them out in even separate lineups, you know, you bring 20 out, they go off, 20 out, they go off, 20 out, they go off. You might be marking them down, but by the time you get to the end, how can you remember what the other half looked like again, unless you got them standing all side by side? And to compare them all equally and fairly would take days, so you just can't do it. So there needs to be definitely a cut-off limit to a lot of the shows. Yes.